A story from Oman. I helped HR move someone along. Omani nationals have major labor law protections, particularly if they work in oil and gas, one of the major industries there. I was posted to Oman for a project and discovered that a very small number of the locals use this protection for their own benefit. They basically slack off, claim they need to go to funerals for endless aunts, claim the wadi is flooded, and basically avoid work. Because of the labor law, you can't fire them without a court case on your hands, and foreign companies don't want to go in front of an Omani magistrate. It was common for fired Omani nationals to be paid out years of severance as a penalty to their bad foreign bosses. If they resigned, this was not the case. When I got to Muscat, I discovered we had inherited one of these clowns. He was doing it all and unfortunately was also technically incompetent. I spoke to HR and they said, "We can't do anything." I asked for a copy of the HR law for Oman and read it. I then spoke to the chap in question and discovered he was interested in training and travel to the USA to our HQ. Now, one thing. No one there liked field work. They avoided it like the plague. But this chap agreed he would do the field work first if he could go to the States after. HR witnessed this. Two things then happened. Under Oman labor law, we were allowed to assign field techs to the field only on an equal time basis. For every day in the field, 1 day in the office. But there was curiously no upper limit in the law as to how long you could send someone for a contiguous period, provided it was equal time within the year. Edit for clarity. HR said, "Oh, it's customary no more than 2 weeks." I asked if this was in his contract and they said no. I then said, "Okay, I am assigning this chap to 180 days in the field so we can then send him to the USA for 180 days. HR looked at me as though I was mad, but I insisted it was legal. They double-checked and said, "Okay. Seems legal." I told the chap the next day he came in, "Since you agreed to go to the USA, we are sending you for 6 months. However, you need to go the field for 6 months. Leaving tomorrow. To a nasty desert camp." Quote. He resigned on the spot. HR came in and privately congratulated me. Turned out they'd been trying to get rid of the chap for 5 years. Where's the malicious compliance? I complied completely to the letter of the law in a malicious manner. Send them to USA, will be that companies sent them to a farm upstate. I'd like some more details on this nasty desert camp. Why would he refuse to do it? Why does this field work seem excruciating? A 6-month trip to another country honestly sounds pretty good compensation for 6 months of field work as long as both are paid hours.
Well done.
You malicious, magnificent bastard. Question. If he did his 180 days then went to the States, would he still be protected from being fired for cause in the US? Interesting read. Remind me of my time in Oman. As a supplier, you would never see an Omani on site, apart from bus driving. Thanks to you, HR then had the keys to the rest of the layabouts, instant transfer to the desert camp for 6 months for the lot of them. That was so satisfying to read. I'm sure you made the workplace safer as well. Hats off to you. That reminded me of the Portuguese workers on our base in the Azores. There was a bar right outside. And I mean right. Like 20 feet. The main gate that opened at 7 a.m. By the time they were supposed to be on the job, 8 a.m. There were always a bunch of them wasted out of their minds. Portuguese labor unions are very powerful and have a huge influence in the politics on the mainland. so all the workers were pretty much untouchable. It wouldn't be unusual to see 1 or 2 USAF airmen working on the road and 6 or 7 workers either standing around talking or curled up under a bush sleeping. There were many very hard-working and conscientious workers too. But the others gave them all a bad name. Heard similar stories while I was working in Kuwait. Well played. I am a petroleum engineer and am friends with fellow petroleum professionals from across the world. In my education and career, I have realized that stereotypes exist for a reason. Among the technical professionals, Gulf Arabs tend to be lazy and entitled. Egyptians are the Arabs who tend to be hardworking and industrious and doing the work. HR being totally worthless? No way. How terrible that they protect their workers. And he has enough money and support to quit his job. So disgusting. Could have turned it back on you, done the 180 days, then had a 6-month holiday in the States. I fear no field work. You hiring? Nice. I lived in Muscat in the 80s. Had my 2nd birthday there. And remember swimming in the kiddie pool my parents got us for Xmas. On Xmas Day. Was cool because that could never happen in Canada. Unless you set one up inside. Kinda cool to hear other stories about Oman. This is the 2nd time I've stumbled across one on Reddit.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.